Progressive presents Mindfulness with Flow.
You are a mighty fortress of supreme knowledge. Progressive Direct has not only revealed their rates, but those of their competitors. If you were any more in the know, you would be drowning in, the know.
Compare Progressive Direct rates with competitors' rates, because knowledge is power. Visit Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Welcome to No BS Job Search Advice Radio and episode 773. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm called the Big Game Hunter because I spent more than 40 years hunting down leaders and staff for organizations, successfully filling more than 1,200 positions, creating tons of online content, writing, blogging, creating videos, and of course, hosting podcasts. And No BS Job Search Advice Radio is the show that has had more episodes in iTunes of any other. Now, today's show is another one of those tough interview questions. And in 2017, that's exactly what I've been working on, helping you be more effective with interviewing, answering tough interview questions, giving you advice about interviewing in general. And my other show, Job Search Radio, which, by the way, is number 2 in iTunes in terms of numbers of shows I've created, with about 325, I think. Definitely over 320. I'll say that between the two shows, I've created a lot of content, and Job Search Radio for 2017 covers everything else other than interviewing. And this one, again, is a tough interview question. And how you answer it depends upon your situation. And the question is, how do you like to be managed? Hope you find this show helpful. I hope you reach out to me for coaching. There's more about that at the end of the show. And now let's get going, okay? Someone forwarded a great question to me that reads, how do you like to be managed? That's one of the tough interview questions for today. Excuse me. Now, I suspect almost everyone knows what they're not supposed to do in answering this question. But in doing so, I just want to make sure. So you don't want to be critical of a previous manager. I've worked with some great people, but there was this one person. She was abominable to me. You don't want to go down that road. And you don't want to look as though you think your manager is a snoop or a micromanager. You never want to be critical of anyone from before. And at the same time, on the opposite side of this, you don't want to seem as though you're such a strong advocate for one position or another, or one type of management style or another, that you come across a little crazy. So there's I really work well with people who are, you don't want to go down that road. But, and the third thing is, you don't want to seem desperate. Oh, I need a job. I can work with anyone. You don't want to go there either. Here's what I want you to do. And I want you to think of this from the standpoint of, is if you are in real need of a job, or you are exploring other things, and it really has to be the right thing. So if you really do need a job, you've been out of work for a while, or emotionally you need to get back to work, you want to talk about the right style for you. And I'll start by saying, I don't think anyone wants to work for a micromanager. So you can start by saying that. I don't think anyone wants to work for a micromanager, and at the same time, a person who manages has a responsibility to an organization to ensure that the people in their care are doing the right stuff. So I understand that. But I work well with management who basically gives me an assignment, gives me a sense of how they want me to do it, lets me go off and do it, and then wants me to check in with them from time to time to ensure that I'm on the right track, and who I feel I can go to ask for advice and input. That's a great approach. Now, that I think works well whether you're a staff individual or at a manager level and above. Now, the tricky thing is, if you are anxious, if you do need a job, quickly, I want to say that you might add in something along the lines of, if that's not a style that works for you as a manager, give me a sense of how you manage. Because the fact of the matter is, I can adapt. And thus what you're trying to do is communicate that you're not so set in your ways that you want, that you're demanding something. Now, however you describe the management style, if it's, let's say it's different than this approach that I've laid out, if you want to describe something very different, then I want, and if you don't have a real need for a new position, I want you to be prepared to talk about it. So I offered one framework, but you can offer your own that makes sense for you, and look someone square in the eye and say, this is really what has worked for me in the past, and I really find it gets results for me. So, and just leave it at that. You don't say, add on to it and say, if that doesn't work for you, we can call it quits today. and my feelings won't be hurt. I suspect yours won't be either. You don't go down that road. Instead, what you do is you lay out your case for the kind of style that works for you, how it has benefited you in the past, and how you've given great results from it, and leave it at that. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, here are a few other ways that we can connect with one another. The first one is, if you're an executive and interested in one-on-one coaching, email me at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. In the subject line, put the word coaching, so this way I know what it's about. Next, if you're not an executive, the best way to reach out to me is through jobsearchcoachinghq.com. There I have curated information from around the web that you can watch, listen to, read, primarily my own information, but again, there's some stuff from other people that's there with their permission. Also, if we are not connected on LinkedIn, send a connection request to me at linkedin.com/IN/the-big-game-hunter. Mention that you listen to the show, because I love to hear from people who listen to the show. It just puts a big smile on my face, which reminds me, Facebook. Connect with me on Facebook. Look for Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and give me 5 stars. Subscribe to the page. You'll get lots of information sent to you daily with different pieces of advice for you. And lastly, because I don't really mention this on the show all that much, in addition to job search coaching, I do executive and what I call business life coaching. Business life coaching, where I work with self-employed people who have a lunatic for a boss. People like your wife, husband, partner, friends of yours who may be either wrestling with something in their business and need an advisor to work with, or people who are doing extremely well and they need to have someone to talk with because business is just exploding for them. So again, reach out to me through Jeff Altman at thebiggamehunter.us. I'll get back to you. We'll figure out a time to speak, and I look forward to helping you. Hope you enjoyed this again, and have a great day. Take care.
Napa know-how.
The Napa guy knows not to judge a man by his car's multicolored paint job or absence of modern gadgetry. Who cares if it's technically old enough to vote and the windows are powered by the strength of your left arm? Your monthly payment is zero, and it'll stay that way. Because with over 500,000 parts and a little Napa know-how, you can keep anything on the road. She may not be pretty, but she's all yours. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At Metro PCS, we let the numbers do the talking. 4. Enjoy a reliable 4G LTE network that's faster than Sprint. 2. Get 2 free smartphones when you switch to Metro PCS. 99. The percentage of people in the U.S. covered by Metro PCS. Get 2 free Samsung Galaxy J3 Prime smartphones when you switch. Metro PCS. Wireless figured out. Coverage not available in some areas. Sales tax not included in phone price. Excludes numbers on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro PCS in past 90 days. Coverage claim based on talk text coverage. Speed claim from downloads. See store for details, terms, and conditions.